Can you say first just a few words about how you've seen the whole issue of the church progressing since 2001?
From the beginning, the commitment was there, not just from me, but from Port Authority officials for the rebuilding of St. Nicholas, and not just the commitment, but it was actually incorporated into the master site plan. And it's just incredibly disappointing to me that now, almost 9 years later, not only has construction not started, but there hasn't even been a dialogue for a year between the church officials and the Port Authority. So I'm calling on the Port Authority to reach out to the church officials, sit down with them, and let's work out whatever issues might exist so St. Nicholas, which was the only religious institution that was destroyed on September 11th, can rise from the ashes as was promised from the beginning.
Is this unusual behavior from the Port Authority? Has this happened before?
Well, it's disappointing, and I just hope that now they will be responsive.
Can you say a little bit about how you've seen this issue progress over the last 2 weeks, I guess?
Well, 4 weeks ago, we were the first to put out the call to rebuild St. Nicholas, and since that 4 weeks have passed, it's really exploded onto the national scene, and people are really paying attention. And it went from a simple press release to people being galvanized across the country. So now you can see today we have Governor Pataki reaffirming his commitment to rebuild St. Nicholas. So it's important that people stand up and speak up, and we were the first to do so. I'm very proud of that, and hopefully we can continue to build momentum to rebuild that church.
A few weeks ago, you were the only one saying the word St. Nicholas, on the national scene. And now we hear all sorts of different politicians. We've also heard Senator Menendez from New Jersey is getting involved in the effort. Do you have something to say about Senator Menendez and other politicians involved?
Well, it's a wonderful thing that people are joining our efforts to make sure that it's rebuilt, and we hope that this becomes a cry across the country. And it's not a political issue. It's an issue of making sure that our government respects our Judeo-Christian rights and values and make sure that St. Nicholas be rebuilt. So I welcome, I join, and I urge all members of all political parties to join our efforts to make sure it's rebuilt.
And from your constituency, have you heard your prospective have you heard people responding? Have they been contacting you about it?
Absolutely. The response has been overwhelming. We've gotten tremendous response across the district in Suffolk County. As I mentioned, over 168 people from Suffolk County were killed on that day, murdered by Islamic extremists. So it's very important to people out there, and hundreds of first responders from Suffolk County actually came here and rushed to the tower. So it's very important. It's an issue of a national importance, and I think people in Suffolk County want to have leadership in Congress and someone who will stand up and fight for them.
And one last thing, let me ask you. Standing here just a few feet from where the church was, what are your thoughts today and 9 years later?
Well, it's an amazing thing to be standing right here at the foot of this great tragedy. And it's important that out of that tragedy, that church rises again. We must honor the memory of the 3,000 Americans who were lost that day. But to honor their memory, we have to make sure that we rebuild the church and we stay true to the values of our Judeo-Christian heritage. So it's very important to me, and I'll continue this fight as long as we need to.
Thank you.